What is up, guys? Rick Kakis here. Thank you so much for joining me, and today we're talking more Borderlands 3. Currently, I'm at the reveal event, so thank you to 2K for providing for my flights and accommodations, and this event is wild. The venue is absolutely crazy. If you don't follow me on Twitter, definitely do at Rick Kakis. I've posted some images of this event you should definitely check out, and I've also posted a video of over an hour of just straight Borderlands 3 gameplay. If you need your fix, if you are a super fan, definitely check that out. But in this video, this is coming from my second play session with the game. I was much more familiar with it, and the key thing we're showing off, we're going to talk about a few things in this video, but the key thing we're showing off is some legendary weapons, multiple legendary weapons in use, and that is very exciting because legendaries, of course, they are the gold or orange, the top rarity. Yes, there's pearlescence as well, but mainly you have legendaries as that main top rarity in Borderlands. And if you are coming from Destiny, for example, exotics would be legendaries in Borderlands. Even though legendaries in Destiny are purples in Borderlands, that's been a little bit confusing, but I digress. These are definitely some exciting weapons, so let's check them out. So, first off, how did I acquire these legendaries? Well, you can actually get some from boss fights. In fact, fighting this giant Brainiac guy here, he actually does drop a unique legendary, like a boss drop specific legendary, a Tdr weapon that when you throw it, it sticks to the wall as a little turret. It's a little turret with a brain on top, and it shoots you with eyes sticking out of the brain. It's crazy as it sounds, but unfortunately I didn't get that one. The developers came around and pressed a button in our keyboard that just kind of spewed out loot, and I was lucky enough to have that happen to me and get a legendary. And the first one we have here is a pretty crazy one. It's the one I definitely got the most time with, is the Pestilent Phaser legendary Vlad assault rifle. The red text is just a period. I don't know if that's a joke or if it's a placeholder. And then it has the attachment 6-shot shotgun that deals 23 times 6 damage. So all Vlad weapons, their unique factor is that they have an underbarrel attachment. Sometimes it's another barrel, a grenade launcher, and so on. This one is a shotgun, but not a normal shotgun. A shotgun that shoots elemental little plasma balls. And as you can see, it does phenomenal damage. Like, I would be happy if I had a purple shotgun that was exactly like this. Seriously, a purple shotgun, 6 rounds, shot exactly these same pellets, and the damage it did was identical. I'd be like, yeah, this is a good shotgun. But this is built into a whole nother weapon. There is an entire assault rifle attached to the shotgun. That is an incredible amount of diversity on one weapon. If I'm up close and personal, switch to the shotgun, it's doing great damage. It literally is like having an entirely new gun just attached to this gun, and the practical benefits of having 2 guns in one is that it frees up the rest of your slots. If you want to run a sniper rifle, you can more freely do so because your short, close range combat is covered by this assault rifle, right? You can more run those crazy unique weapons, red text weapons, the Atlas weapons that can lock onto a target and then have smart bullets. Those things are very unique, and they can often suffer when you're kind of being overwhelmed. You want more traditional guns. Vlad really provides that, ×2. Now, this is the legendary I'm going to talk about the most because it is the one I got the most gameplay with. But moving on to some other legendaries I saw during my play session, at the very tail end, we were just spamming the loot give out button, and 2 more dropped. Now, one is an old favorite. That's right, the conference call. It has a new skin to match the new look of Hyperion shotguns, but as you can see when I shoot this weapon, it is very much back. Now, for those of you familiar with Borderlands, you're probably rejoicing right now. Go ahead. I'll wait for you guys to sit back down, but for the rest of you guys who aren't familiar with Borderlands, the conference call was an incredibly powerful shotgun, still is an incredibly powerful shotgun, especially with Gage's Anarchy, but it's a shotgun that, as you can see, it shoots out, and then the bullets just kind of shoot to the side. as well as continue to shoot forward. So this weapon is capable of inflicting so much more damage than a normal Hyperion shotgun, which is just going to shoot normally at an enemy. This one is hitting so many other diverse targets off to the right and to the left. And just in terms of a practical standpoint, if you're using it normally, the fact that you can engage an enemy and then go to engage the next enemy and he's already weak, well, that's pretty darn good, and in some cases, already dead. And that's also on top of the fact that this weapon usually has some great synergies with certain skills. Anything that ricochets bullets is great with a weapon that shoots way more bullets than normal. Anything that can apply damage to each individual bullet, well, this thing is spewing out so many bullets. Like originally in Borderlands 2, this thing combined with the B shield, which applied a damage bonus to each bullet. Like this thing shredded raid bosses in seconds. It was nerfed after that. Well, shotguns in total were nerfed because of this weapon, but yeah, it may have a super synergy in Borderlands 3 this time. Now moving on from there, we have another legendary weapon, and this one is completely new to Borderlands 3. It's the double penetrating pneumatic laser Sploder. That is a mouthful. It's a Torg weapon. It's technically an assault rifle, classified as such, uses the ammo for assault rifles, and it has the red text lasers equals explosions, and it consumes 2 ammo per shot, and also it features the brand new element to Borderlands 3, radiation. So, this thing is going to shoot a laser that does a ton of damage. Like, you can see how fast it shreds this vehicle. Normally, weapons take quite a while to kill vehicles. But on top of that, it's also spewing out little homing mini rockets. So you've got the laser and the rockets combining for significant damage. Like, the laser by itself does great damage, and the mini rockets just push it way over the top. Like, I think this thing could actually be very good in the game for just damage output. Something to keep in mind, however, is that the laser does not go for that long of a period of fire. It will dissipate somewhere around medium range. So that is kind of the balancing factor behind this weapon. And there was one more legendary I actually came in contact with. During a side mission, the reward for beating it was a legendary grenade mod. Now, unfortunately, I was fresh level 13 in this demo build, and the grenade mod dropped at level 14, and I just was not able to level up in time, so I apologize for that. But looking at it here, as you can see, it has the red text. That's a horse of a different color, and it says it converts Nogs, which are similar to midgets from other Borderlands games, but they shoot guns and they have little helmets over them, and it will convert them to fight on your side for 12 seconds, and it also explodes on impact. So you could chuck this grenade if you're doing an encounter with a ton of Nogs, turn them all on your side for 12 seconds. Like, what if you're in a boss fight and the boss is spawning Nogs? Like, that is insane, having just a constant flow of allies as they're lowering his health and he's getting health gated and spawning more and more enemies that are supposed to help him. That scenario would be insane. Like, this grenade would be so good for, you know, a boss fight such as that, for any encounter that has a lot of these enemy types. So that could actually be pretty useful. So, those are the 4 legendaries I came in contact with during my play session of Borderlands 3, and dang, they look sweet. This game has so much variety in terms of the weapons. In fact, I want to talk a little bit about the weapon system as a whole. What are some things that you should be looking out for if you get your hands on Borderlands 3, or I should say when you get your hands on Borderlands 3 come September? Well, firstly, Jacob's weapons are incredibly powerful. They kill super fast, their critical hit damage is insane, and the fact that they now will ricochet to a nearby enemy for getting a critical and will often get another critical shot with that ricochet means that they're actually really good at crowd clearing. They're one of the weapons that don't look that assuming. In fact, they look more normal, and they are one of the more powerful weapons to look out for. Vlad weapons, just like I was going over with the legendary, the versatility there is insane, and often those underbarrel attachments, like, they output a significant amount of damage, and there's so many unique variants of them. Also, Tdr weapons. I did not like Tdrs in Borderlands 2. Like, I didn't at all. You threw them, they didn't even do that much damage, and they wasted all your ammo. Well, in Borderlands 3, they still waste all your ammo. They definitely still do. but there's going to be like Merv Tdrs, which will explode and then explode into 5 more, and they can just shred through enemies. There's also the turret guys that follow enemies around with little legs. Those guys do significant amount of damage, especially if you can like shoot one, throw your weapon, shoot one, throw it, shoot one, throw it. You have 3 weapons all shooting at the same time at a certain enemy. You're going to melt them. So TDRs are a lot better now. And also, lastly, elements. Elements actually play a more significant role in Borderlands 3 than they maybe did in other games, and having the right elements is actually very important, especially because it does feel like you're chewing through ammo very quickly, so you need to make your ammo count. So mallow on weapons, because they're able to switch between elements, they're super useful. Having just one mallow on weapon equipped with something like corrosive, so when you do have those armored robotic enemies, you can chew through them super easily, and then also something like shock, so you can deal with shielded enemies, and having that versatility to switch between those 2 elements, very good, like in practical usage. That's why I want to mention this. In theory, that may or may not be, but in practical gameplay sense of being able to play and experience the game, those are things that stood out to me as very viable things and things you want to be doing when you play this game. And so guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Borderlands 3 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.